then what is happening down on the border is child abuse. And the person ultimately responsible for all of this, and I can tell you that if Donald John Trump was president, the mainstream media would be not only blaming Donald Trump, but they would be demanding that he be arrested and charged with child abuse. And so my question is, why are they not doing the same to President Joe Obama? Why are they not holding President Joe Obama to the same standards that they held President Trump to? But I'm going to go a step further. It was Barack Hussein Obama that screwed up the border. It was Donald John Trump who secured the border, and it's President Joe Obama who's turning it into a catastrophe. Well, let's go to the Liberty University Newsmaker line. Good to have with us from the great state of Georgia, Congressman Jody Hice. Congressman, good to have you with us today.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, and you are spot on with what's happening at the border.
I mean, Congressman, this is absolutely horrific, and I know a lot of your colleagues have been down there. I mean, what kind of reports are you getting?
Yeah, I've been down there myself. It is absolute insanity what we now have, and you are exactly right. President Trump inherited a disaster from President Obama. Donald Trump took the necessary steps to secure our border and to deal with the issue, and he handed to Joe Biden a secure border without crisis. And for whatever reason, Joe Biden totally reversed all the Trump policies that were working on the border, and now within 3 months we have an absolute disaster all over again, much greater of a disaster than we ever had under President Trump. And that is absolutely true. In less than 3 months, the peak of the disaster, the problem under President Trump, does not compare with the numbers we're seeing now. Going through the roof, worse than ever in just 3 months because of reversing the policies of President Trump.
And I'm wondering about the children. We don't know who mommy and daddy are. We don't know who the legal guardians are. And my concern is that they're just going to dump these children out into communities across the country. And there's not going to be any paper trail. And a lot of these kids may end up with people who are nefarious individuals.
Well, absolutely. But you also have to consider the cartels and their actions in all of this. They are using children by the thousands to get individuals across the border. They attach a child with a XYZ type adult. They come across the border claiming to be family, and then the adults split and run. And once the children are released, they're picked up by other cartel members on the U.S. border, sent back across the border so that they can be a tool to get other adults into the United States. And it's really trafficking these children for the purpose of getting illegal individuals across the border. So and that's just one aspect. You mentioned the trafficking in other ways that's taking place, children being released in the streets. We're having as high numbers of 25% of these children who are testing positive for COVID being released. I mean, it is an absolute catastrophe of monstrosity proportions. And you're right, the media is silent. The White House is silent. Democrats are silent. And this is abusive, not to mention just a catastrophe of tremendous proportions.
Because, I mean, Congressman, correct me if I'm wrong here, but the Democrats, they don't care about these illegals. They look at them as a commodity, a political commodity, and they're betting that these people are going to vote Democrat, whether they know it or not, in the coming elections.
Well, I'm sure they are looking at it from that perspective, but most of us who have just common sense are looking at this from a humanitarian crisis, but also from a national security point of view. We don't know who these people are. We don't know why they're coming to the States. We don't know what their intentions are. We don't know their health conditions. We don't know anything about them. They are coming by literally the thousands, the tens of thousands, and they are being released into our streets. Many of them are criminals. Many are trafficking humans, trafficking drugs. We don't have any idea. And yes, that in addition to that is the political aspect of it. And of course, we know the Biden administration has been very vocal on their desire to establish amnesty for these people. They think it is a political boost for them, but it is a disaster for our country, and it is something that needs to come to a stop ASAP.
Congressman, I'm curious about the president, who we now refer to as Joe Obama. We understand he's coming to the state of Georgia on some sort of a celebration tour. Are you hearing concerns among your fellow lawmakers about the president's mental well-being?
Oh, yes, we hear about it all the time, and I don't know what he would be coming to Georgia to celebrate. He is in process of dismantling our country, from everything what's happening on the border to the economy in our country to our energy independence to our military strength. You go down the list of things just one by one, in process of dismantling us while bankrupting us all at the same time. He's got very little to celebrate when he comes to Georgia, and I would anticipate that if indeed he comes, his crowd would be about like it was when he was campaigning, that being somewhere in the 30 or so attendees. So, yes, to answer your questions, yes, all the time people are questioning his mental capacity and his ability to function intelligently in any capacity, let alone the President of the United States.
You know, Congressman, one final question before we let you go. There's been a lot of concern among lawmakers about the Pentagon coming after Tucker Carlson and other American citizens who are objecting to having pregnant women in combat roles. I know that Senator Ted Cruz has written a letter demanding a meeting with the Marine Commandant. What about you? Does this raise concern for you?
Absolutely, it raises concerns. I mean, what normal person would not be concerned with pregnant women in combat? I mean, it's you're talking two lives now, not just one. That's involved here. And again, common sense tells you that we need to be protective of not only the mother, but the baby in those type of situations. And it is unbelievably alarming to me, the cancel culture in this regard, even going after someone like Tucker because of his position and his belief that women who are pregnant should not be in combat. That's common sense. That's nothing worth canceling anyone over and coming after them. But the Democrats have been so effective in this cancel culture movement. It's really frightening, and every American ought to take awareness as to what's going on.
All right. Well, Congressman, we're going to have to leave it there. Always appreciate you coming on the program. Thank you, Congressman.
My pleasure, Todd. Thank you.
All right. Jody Hice from the great state of Georgia.